Welcome back to Average Mics, and today we are back on the Sea-Doo HX putting some gel coat on the bottom of the hull. Alright guys, welcome back. I am just another Average Mic, and today, like I said, we will be putting or getting the surface ready for some gel coat to lay on. So what I have here is I have our 400 grit wet dry sandpaper. I have a bucket of water, and what we're going to do is make sure all this putty we put in the last video. If you have not checked the video prior to this or the series for the Sea-Doo HX rebuild, I'll post a link up to the video before this, that way you can get caught up. But we're gonna sand this down smooth, sand down the other spot over there smooth. We're gonna remove this intake grate, and then go down the whole hull with the 400 grit to get it scuffed up, ready for the gel coat, so gel coat has something to stick to. And then we will wax and grease the whole thing and tape it up, and then finally put on some gel coat. So got a lot of work to do, so let's get moving. So the camera fell on me, but as you saw, I was using my impact gun with a bit end. It was a P3 size Phillips head screwdriver, and on my impact gun, because these two generally are pretty hard to get out. These two back here typically don't, but don't have any issues with those. These two can be challenging. The impact gun gives it a little jolt as it tries to, plus with the screwdriver you're kind of twisting and pushing at the same time, and it's a little easier just to be able to put all your weight down on the impact, let the impact drive it out. So worked out well. I got all 4 screws, they're still all intact, and we can move on. So I had the 400 grit, I just wrapped it around the piece of wood I had laying around, and I got a bucket of water here. We're going to get to sand this down. Alright guys, so as you can see, it's still a little wet in places, but on a car, you know, or even this with a better paint job, it's not faded, you'd be able to see that it's haze, like where this sticker was before. It's hazier than what it was when I took it off, because you had a fresh coat. you had a fresh coat there that was protected by the sticker. But now since I sanded it, it's hazy now. Same as in here, this was all pretty yellow. Pretty shiny, I should say. This is all still wet, so it's hard to tell, but this is all nice and cleaned out. I did notice a couple things right where I must not have hit this area here. This area is a little more shiny than the rest. I must have missed that. There's also little tiny bits of the adhesive from the sticker still on here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to redo, I don't want to say redo, but I'm going to hit some of the spots that I feel as though I missed, and then give it another quick wash down. It was pretty dirty, so it's still a little dirty now. And then we'll go ahead and tack it with a tack cloth to get all the little pieces of dirt out, and then paint it. So I am going to do that tomorrow. It's going to be in this video, but I'm going to hit that up. I'm going to let this dry out completely, and then we'll go ahead and tackle this tomorrow. So I'll catch you then. Alright guys, it is the next day here, and we're going to jump right in to the HX hull. Now, I did go ahead and sand down the areas that I thought needed some more attention. I did that off camera, and now we can go ahead and do a wax and grease remover, start taping up the edges and whatnot, and then we can tack cloth. So we have taped up everything that we want to tape up around here. As you can see, I did some work back here. These things I tried to get off before in another video. I really couldn't get my hand up in there to remove them, so I had to take those off. This ride plate, this can also be removed, but it's actually bolted and glued down pretty good, bonded down. When you remove these, you run the risk of cavitation, because water can seep in through the cracks there. And those of you who don't know what cavitation is, kind of like spinning your wheels on a street car, where you hit the gas, it goes, but then it doesn't actually take off like you would want. This looks like somebody has already painted here. I don't know what that's about, but because of that, I'm not going to take that off. I'm actually going to paint the gel coat around that, and if it sticks, it sticks. If it don't, it don't. Again, this is the bottom of the hull. I wish I would have really went through. Going through, I did find a couple more nicks that I probably should have addressed, but you know, this is really my first rebuild of a wave runner, and I'm going to leave it as you kind of live and you learn, and maybe the next one, if there is a next one, you know, I'll have some things I'm going to change. So what I'm going to do is wipe this down and then tack cloth it, and then we'll be ready to go. Alright guys, here comes the fun part. What we have here is our gel coat. We have a wax additive that came with it, as well as the MEKP, which basically hardens or reacts with the gel coat. What I'm going to do is mix half of this into this cup. I'll put, this is 1 ounce, which of the wax additive. 1 ounce handles 1 quart, so we'll put about half of this in there. And then 1 pint, which would be half of a quart, we need 6 drops of this to mix in here. Mix it all up. We'll put it in a pan. I have a pan over here, and we'll get the rolling. I didn't want, you get about 15 minutes to put this down. I didn't want to have to rush through. I don't know how much it's going to take to do the whole bottom of the hole, but I didn't want to rush through it just because this might harden. So let me mix this all up and then we'll start painting. All right guys, so the camera died as I was going through. I think on the first coat we ended up putting 2 coats down. The finish, as you expect, isn't right now it's dry to touch, but it's obviously has a rolled finish. Even though we're using the smooth roller, it still needs to be buffed out. I think we're in better shape than if it were sand, or if we used a brush, but we should be good. So I did run out. I did get 2 pretty much full coats on. It could use a third. There are some spots that didn't. I still see some yellow poking through. What I'm going to do is in the next video we'll untape everything and put a 3rd coat down. I do have to order some more gel coat, but we'll put a 3rd coat down and kind of touch up any spots that yellow might be peeking through where the tape may have came across. So and then we'll get the sanding. So make sure you stay tuned, turn your post notifications on, that way you catch it the next time I post a video with this HX. Alright guys, that's going to be a wrap for this video. Once I get the new more gel coat in, we'll do a 3rd coat, and then obviously we'll try to sand this down to make it look nice. I think we'll be okay. So if you like the video, please subscribe. As always, like it, comment, do whatever you want to do, and I'll get you guys next time. Later.